Walt Disney Animation Studios has built an impressive legacy of feature films that have enchanted us with their heroic and villainous characters, humble songs, and wondrous animation. With Disney turning 100 years old, it's fitting they now come out with a film that celebrates that while still crafting a new original story. And that film is Wish. I found the result to be a charming and pleasant experience that tells a nice story about a wishing star. From the beginning, it's clear Wish is seeking to be a throwback to classic Disney, albeit with a modern spin. The lead character Asha is a likable protagonist who wants to help people's wishes come true, with Ariana DeBose's vocal performance providing the right amount of sweetness and charm. Her best friends are obviously modeled after the Seven Dwarfs, which is something that could have been corny and eye-rolling. However, that does not happen, and they still manage to have individual personalities of their own, with the grumpy XP Gabbo getting some of the funniest bits. Also like the friendship between Asha and the Doc-inspired Dahlia. When the wishing star comes down and starts interacting with Asha, it has a lot of personality, some very funny facial reactions, which are almost reminiscent of Mickey Mouse. Meanwhile, Alan Tudyk gets some big laughs as Asha's goat, who gains the ability to speak. The character who stands out the most in Wish is the villain King Magnifico. The idea of him being this paranoid ruler who selfishly only gives out wishes for his own self-image and because he does not want his subjects to rock the boat is a fascinating one, and as the film plays on, we and the other characters see him for who he really is, a tyrannical dictator who prefers to keep everything in line so as not to ruin the public perception of himself as this generous individual looking out for them. His evil traits become even more clear with each passing scene, and he becomes quite the despicable villain. Wish explores what happens when citizens start to realize that the person responsible for governing them is not all that great and does not have their best interests at heart. Meanwhile, Chris Pine digs into the role with relish and has fun with both the scenes where he presents himself as charming and the evil ruler bent on everyone loving him and never once questioning his decision-making. Julia Michaels and Benjamin Rice serve as the movie's songwriters, and I thought they provided a great batch of tunes. My favorite song is Asha's I Want song, This Wish. It's a beautiful and catchy melody with Ariana DeBose capturing all the emotion she's feeling in that moment, and becomes the standout number of the movie. King Magnifico's song, This Is the Thanks I Get, is a terrific villain song, which successfully builds as he gets more and more angry at the people in the Kingdom of Roses, even mildly questioning his decision-making. It's probably the song that will most likely be stuck in my head for a while afterwards. I'm a Star is a delightful song sung by all kinds of animals excited getting the power of speech, while Knowing What I Know Now captures the revolutionary stance taken by Asha. This winds up a strong soundtrack I will happily return to listen to multiple times. For the animation, the artists have elected for style that appears to call back to the look commonly seen in the Walt-era films like Snow White and Sleeping Beauty. I admit it took me a little while to adjust to the film's look, but I very quickly appreciated what was accomplished here. Others may feel inclined to compare it to other computer-animated films with hand-drawn inspired visuals like Nimona and Puss in Boots' Last Wish, but I find that unfair, as the goal of the Wish visuals is different than those movies. Since this is the 100th anniversary Disney movie, which includes a lot of nods to the studio's past work. Some are overt, while others more subtly woven into the background. I was never bothered by these and found these references and acknowledgement of Disney Animation's legacy to be cute, and they made me smile. The filmmakers also make sure they don't get in the way of the story and fit well within the scenes. Think of something along the lines of Enchanted, which also featured plenty of Disney homages, but mainly as a nice bonus for those familiar with their library. And what they do with the end credits is particularly sweet. Overall, I thought directors Chris Buck and Fawn Sunthorn and the rest of the Disney animation team did a really nice job of Wish. It had a lot of the familiar Disney elements, like the protagonist who wants her dreams to come true, the diabolical villain who stops at nothing to make sure he's the one in control, the funny and helpful sidekicks, and the beautiful songs, while packaging them in a story about accomplishing one's goals and standing up to evil forces. And after the movie, it made me reflect on how important the animated films produced by Disney have been to my own growth as a cinephile. So many of them were among the first movies I saw and fell in love with, and they will always have a special place in my heart. They were some of my first experiences with seeing film as an impactful visual medium, the way songs can dig into our brains with clever lyrics and lovely melodies, and the power of storytelling. Wish is a touching celebration of that, and I think it's another worthy addition to the impressive and lasting Disney animation catalog.